In 2017, Bumble had over 12 million users and had become Tinder's biggest competitor. Seeing this, Match Group, the company that owns Tinder, started to worry. They decided that instead of fighting with Bumble, they should buy Bumble and take over the dating market. As a result, Match Group offered $450 million to Bumble, but Whitney turned it down. To everyone's surprise, later that same year, Tinder came back again, this time with an even higher price. But once again, Whitney turned them down, and this is where the real drama began. In 2018, Tinder announced that they would soon launch a new feature where only women could start the conversation, same as Bumble. When Bumble heard this, they were not happy at all. They said Tinder was copying their idea to slow down Bumble's growth and stop them from rising. Meanwhile, Match Group became very angry and filed a lawsuit against Bumble. They claimed that Bumble copied Tinder's swipe feature, copied their design, and used their trade secrets. They even said that Bumble was basically a Tinder clone. But Bumble didn't stay quiet. Just a few days later, they decided to answer in their own way. They bought a full-page ad in the New York Times with bold letter which started with, "Dear Match Group, we swipe left on you." In that ad, Bumble wrote, "We swipe left on your attempts to buy us, copy us, and now intimidate us. We'll never be yours, no matter the price." Fortunately, this ad became very popular. It wasn't just a reply to Match, it turned into a huge marketing win for Bumble. People started seeing Bumble as the small underdog company standing up against big, powerful giant. Just 2 weeks after that ad, Bumble took action. They filed a $400 million lawsuit against Match Group. Bumble said Match's case was completely fake and baseless. According to Bumble, Match only wanted to damage Bumble's reputation in public and scare future investors so Bumble wouldn't grow. They also said Match wanted to copy Bumble's "women make the first move" idea just because Bumble had rejected their buyout offer twice. With this, it was clear that tension were rising between these companies. Both companies sued each other. They were no longer just business rivals, they were in a court battle now. For the next 2 years, Match Group and Bumble kept fighting in court. Each side tried to bring the other down. But after a lot of court drama, both companies reached into a settlement in 2020. The settlement details were never made public, but after that they stopped attacking each other and moved on. Finally, the courtroom battle was over, but this is certainly not the end of Bumble's story. After all the court drama, Bumble decided it was time to go public. In 2021, Bumble launched its IPO. They raised around $2.15 billion, and the IPO turned out to be a huge success. On the very first day, Bumble's stock price jumped over 70%, a big achievement for a tech startup. And with this, Whitney became the youngest self-made female billionaire at just 31 years old. Now, if we look back and see how crazy Whitney's life was, from facing harassment and being thrown out of Tinder, to building her own billion-dollar dating app, which later became Tinder's biggest rival, it looked like Whitney had finally won. But she had no idea her life was about to turn upside down. However, until this point, Bumble's business was growing well and the company was making good profits. But by the end of 2022, things slowly began to change. After the COVID pandemic, people's behavior shifted. Everyone started going out more, meeting people in real life, and spending less time on dating apps. Meanwhile, Tinder bought another dating app called Hinge, which added even more competition to the dating market. But surprisingly, this was not Bumble's biggest problem. Their real problem was that very few users were paying. Most people were using only the free features and not buying subscriptions. Meanwhile, Bumble was still spending millions on marketing to get new users. They also had many other big expenses. This created a serious issue. Bumble's revenue stopped growing while their costs stayed high. In simple words, Bumble was spending more money than it was earning, and because of that, the company started losing money. By the end of 2023, the whole dating market had slowed down. Not just Bumble, even Tinder saw a huge drop in its paying users, and as time passed, things got even worse. That same year in November, Bumble's stock fell almost 80%. This situation became very serious for Bumble. Even investors became scared to put their money into dating apps anymore. Bumble was under a lot of pressure, and to everyone's shock, Whitney decided to step down as CEO because she felt the company needed a fresh leader to move forward. She was no longer running the company, but she still stayed involved from the side. However, things at Bumble didn't improve. The company continued to face the same problems: fewer paying users, more competition, and very high expenses. Because the new leadership couldn't turn things around, the board finally made a big decision. In early 2025, the board decided to bring Whitney back as CEO to run the company again. As of today, Bumble is still struggling with less paying users, but the company is trying hard to get back on track. So what do you think? Will Bumble make a comeback and become profitable again? Or is the dating app world slowly coming to an end? Let me know in the comments. But one thing is sure, Tinder and Bumble changed dating forever. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the Bumble and Tinder fight, but do you know how the Gucci family had a fight with their own family members for the Gucci business? If you don't know, then you should definitely watch this. Just click the video and I'll be waiting for you.